Hello students, hope everybody's doing great. So today we're going to start our facials using the machines. Okay, there's a variety of machines that we're going to be working with. So just to let you know how our structure is going to be, we're going to start with the theory part of it, what the machine is, what it's used for, how it's used, how not to use it. And then you're going to then, after the note-taking theory part, you're then going to have hands-on opportunity. For those of you that are at home, I apologize. We'll have some videos for you to watch. In addition to the videos you're watching now with the theory, and what you're watching live on Zoom. Okay, but you'll be able to have the more practice again in the following years to come. Now, please do understand that at this level, you're getting the very basic. We're not going to go deep into some things because those are junior, senior levels, okay? So please do understand that there's way more to it. We're just going over the very bare minimum basics, okay? On some of the things for the notes, we're going to skip on some things just because you'll be covering that at a later time, okay? All right, so today we're going to start with the consultation. Okay, so with our consultation, it's very important to understand the theory part, the foundation part, if you will, which is what we covered all last week and what we've covered in previous chapters or weeks, if you will. Not only necessarily the theory part of what are the layers of the skin, how does a pore get clogged, not just that part of the foundation, but also the basic facial, which we've done plenty of. How to add how to do a makeup remover, how to do a basic cleanse, how to use a toner, how to apply the toner, how to cleanse the cleanser off appropriately, how to apply a mask with the different kinds of masks that we have available. So you've done those already, how to do your massage manipulations. So all of that is a foundation. So now you're going to start building upon that foundation and adding industry quality type of facial machines. Steamers, high frequency, the ultra scrubbers, the lights, all of that kind of stuff you'll get an opportunity to be able to use and try in class. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to go ahead and review a few things. We're going to go back, start from the basic types of skin, then we're going to go into the consultation, we're going to go into the skin scope, and then we're going to use the skin scanner, which is actually a machine that I have here. So I'll transfer the camera over so you can see that. We also have the woods lamp that you'll be using, so I'll demo that as well. That's a handheld machine, and the skin scanner is just one big machine that sits on a cart. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright guys, let's see here. We have our markers. I'm going to be using tape for mine because I still have not found my glue stick, and then we've got some scissors. The two pages that we're going to be covering in our cut and paste journal is the skin scope diagram, and then our skincare record card and our skin evaluation. So those two we're covering today that you need to cut and paste onto your pages. But first, and it's page 16 and 17, so let me go ahead and number that. So this is page 16, and this one, the skin scope, is page 17. Now if you're slightly off on your pages, it's okay, don't worry about it. As long as you have it in here, it will be just fine. So from the beginning, and I just want to recap, you understand the parts of the skull, you understand the muscles of the face and how that makes your face shape. We've gone over the anatomy of the eye, done over our massage manipulations. We then, before we did our basic jade roller facial manipulations, we did a little cut and paste for skin types, and we put it on page 6, but we didn't take notes on it. So I'm going to go back to this particular page for a second. And if you've lost this page, or you put it somewhere else other than page 6 is fine. But if you lost this page, you can just write this out or draw the picture is fine. But I would like to take the notes on this page here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that quickly. So this is going to be our page, and we're going to call or title this skin types, because everybody has a skin type. Okay, no matter if you're male, female, young, older, does not matter. Okay, everybody has a skin type. So the 4 basic ones, and we're going to add one, which is sensitive skin, here in just a second. But for the most, I guess the majority of people, the basic ones are, we'll start here, combination skin. So combination skin, just as the word says there, it's a combination of 2, okay, or more. So you're going to have the oil in the T-zone. So oil in the T-zone. The T-zone forms a T across the forehead and down the nose. So it makes a T. So that's an oil, an oily zone. Okay, so if your forehead's always shiny, you run your hand over the cross of your forehead and then your fingers are shiny, that is an oily zone, okay? And then you have areas of dryness. So maybe that on your cheeks or chin or whatnot, you might have skin that is a little flaky and dry that does not have the oil. So that's combination skin. You just have a little bit of both. It's not one and it's not the other, but it's just both. Then on the other, you have dry skin. Now, the dry skin, again, can be all over. It can be on the chin, on the forehead, on the cheeks. Predominantly, you'll find it on the cheeks the most, but it is dehydrated or rough patches. It does not have to be the whole face, okay? It could be just rough patches. Be flakiness, like there's a lot of dead skin that's loose. When you put makeup on or foundation, it just kind of gets like gritty over the top. More textured than smooth, and then you have some tightness. So when you smile, you feel like your skin is pulling apart. So that's definitely something to look out for. The other is oily skin. So opposite of the dry skin, an oily type of skin is going to have, and this one shows it here on the T-zone, but it can be the cheeks as well. But this is oily skin, and you're going to have an all over tacky or sleek, slick feeling. So it's definitely going to have a noticeable shine. So as you move around against the light's going to shine against it. So you're definitely going to see that oil popping through. And again, we've talked about the sebaceous gland and how that works. But that's definitely an overproduction of the sebaceous, the sebum from the sebaceous gland on your skin. Okay, and then we have normal skin, someone that just doesn't. It's not dry, it's not oily, it's not any of the two, so it's just, you know, it's pretty smooth, it's all right. No excess shine, no dry spots. One that I would like to add, and I would like for you to add, is sensitive. So sensitive skin is going to have reactions, okay? So a reaction to product, a reaction to the touch, a reaction to fabric, a reaction to the light, anything of the sort. So reaction to. And I'm just going to do ... because it's going to have a variety of things that you can, the skin can react to. It could be an allergic reaction where you might need to go to the doctor. It might take a few days to treat and get rid of that reaction. Maybe you got a rash, or maybe you got blisters or something of the sort, or it could just be a reaction that your skin just turns red or it just gets itchy, but it's not something that you need to go to the doctor for. Okay, so this can happen for a variety of reasons. Okay, so more nowadays you see more of the sensitive skin. This used to not be one of the core skin types, but more nowadays they did add it, and you do see that more often. Okay, so that I just wanted to go over. Those are the different skin types that you will typically see. Now, with all of that, we've learned what's underneath the skin. We learned how the skin acts when you don't take care of it properly. We learned what happens when the white blood cells are wanting to come in to heal the skin. If you don't nourish your face or skin or body properly, you're unable to heal as quick or at all. We've talked about the elasticity and the collagen of the young and old skin, and what is underneath the skin, what does the underneath matter with the outside of the skin, which is why we learn the anatomy of the face. And so with all of that knowledge, you're now going to be able to sit in front of a client, because usually an esthetician will sit in front of their guest when they're doing the consultation, and you'll be able to consult with your client, asking them the variety of questions, seeking their past or previous facials that they've done, or medical records, and I don't mean like when did you get your wisdom teeth pulled out, or when did you get X surgery or whatever, or XYZ surgery, but you definitely want to know some items just because some of these things are very important to understand. For example, and just a very basic and common one that you'll experience a lot, if someone is expecting, if they're pregnant, you need to know as an esthetician, because here it says pregnancy, because if your client is expecting, there are certain machines that you cannot use because they're harmful to the baby. Okay. So that definitely, and then there's some that are harmful at certain stages of the pregnancy, and some are not. And some people believe it doesn't do anything. Some people do, but it's best that you don't mess with using those types of certain facial machines when the person is expecting. There's person that has heart problems or blood pressure, diabetes. Those are some things that, those medical conditions, you are unable to service clients with certain things just because it can harm the client in some way. Again, we're not going to go into a lot of detail with this because you will your junior senior year, but we're just going to be covering some of the basic information. Okay. And so we're going to do that, and then we're going to move over to the machine. So let's go ahead and go here. So this will be our consultation. All right, and so our consultation is definitely important. It's the first thing that you're going to do with your client when they come in. When the client comes into the salon, the receptionist or spa, the receptionist is going to offer them something to drink. Please, I'll have you checked in to the computer system. Have a seat, here's a clipboard, or now they do a digital form. But go ahead and fill this out for us. And so that way, while the esthetician is coming up to get the client's already had time to fill this out. Just kind of like when you go to the doctor. Then the esthetician is going to take this, or the service provider will take this, and they will quickly scan it, look over it, and if there's anything that comes up, oh, you are pregnant, oh, I apologize, we cannot do the high frequency service on you today because you have acne and you wanted to get rid of the acne. We can't use that machine on you. Oh, you wanted to do XYZ. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't. Or, oh, okay, that's fine. You do have this condition, but we are able to use this machine. So it's very important for the service provider to know the history of the client's health, so that way they can better service the client. Okay. And then once you know that background information, then when you do the skin scope analysis under the light, then you're able to fill this out. The client will not know, unless if they're in the industry and has studied it, they won't know what this has to deal with. So typically this is the front and this is the back of the card. So what I need you to do, we're going to quickly go over this. So as we go over this, you can fill that out on your own. And you can always tell your client, if there's something on here you don't understand or you don't know, you can leave blank, but please try to provide all the information as best as possible. There will be some clients that don't want to give you certain things, and that's okay. And these you can make up your own. You can buy these. There's a lot of computer systems that you purchase for salons, and they will already have these embedded in them. But you can also alter what kind of questions you ask according to what kind of service you are offering your client. So here is a skin record card, and we call it a record card because we keep this. You want to keep your record card because the next time the client comes in, whether they come in with you or someone else, you want to know, you don't want to have to make them fill this out every time they come. People don't want to do that. I filled it out once, I'm done. I'm here for my facial, let's move on. But if you have them fill this out every single time they come, they're not going to be happy campers. And so you definitely want to make sure to keep it on file. Now, this is private information. It has their name, their address, things of the sort, but it also has private information, medical history. So you do not want anyone to be looking at this information if it is not that actual person, or if they do not have, or if you do not have permission from this particular individual that owns this information to be passing that out. So that is definitely hugely important to make sure you understand and keep these documents safe in your salon. Okay, so of course you can fill out your name, the date. Now the date, it's always, when do we start your facial services? It was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 months ago, etc., and what the progress has been since. And of course, address, city, phone, state, zip. The W would be for wireless. occupations, what they do, and referred by. Now, the occupation is just typically as far as, are you a teacher? Are you a mom? Are you a doctor? Are you a engineer? What type are you, what type of occupation are you, so that I know as a service provider, when I'm offering you products, are you the person that has the time to invest in these products? If I sell you 10 different products, if you're a mom with 7 kids, you're not gonna have time to do all that. But if you are someone that has a job that you have to be presentable at, or maybe you talk to a lot of people, you're maybe a little bit more into what your skin looks like, so maybe I can offer you those services. So you need to be able to know your clients, so you know that when you're servicing them and offering them things, you're doing a good job, and helping them, instead of giving them more to do or not helping them at all. Okay, so medical history would be the next one. So the first one's just personal information, just because you need to know those things. Medical history would be the next one. So of course how old they are, because not everybody looks their age, male or female. Nowadays these are a little bit more updated, and then some also have prefer not to answer, which those are fine as well. Known allergies. So allergies are important because what are they allergic to? Okay, so this can actually cause them some harm. So if they have peanut or nut allergies, and you're using some kind of coconut and almond scrub or something, and they're allergic to almond, they're allergic to all nuts, then that's definitely going to be an allergic to that client. Not because they have a sensitive skin, but because they're allergic to it. So that can really be bad, and for some people it could be a deathly thing. So you definitely want to make sure what their allergies are. And are they under the care of a dermatologist? A dermatologist is a doctor. They're a skin doctor. So that way sometimes there's some medicine that they get prescribed that does not work with other things. So you can't mix certain creams and lotions and masks and stuff with some of those prescribed products. So you have to understand that. Skin problems in the last 5 years, yes, and then describe them. And then, do you have any medical conditions? High blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, pregnancy, pacemaker, metal implements. Why metal implements? Because if you are using, let's say, the high frequency electrodes, and they have metal plates or a heart pacer or something of this sort, you can actually harm your client. So it's very important to understand that those are things that you need to know. And so clients will say, why do you need to know this? And that way you can explain why. Okay? And again, you're going to go more into this your junior, senior year. Okay. Are you on medication? Yes. Are you on medication to thin your skin? If so, and you're getting a wax done, maybe we don't need to be waxing. Maybe we need to be tweezing instead, because I can rip the top surface layers of your skin off. Okay. And then leave them scarred, and then that definitely will not be happy clients. And then anything that's not here that you might want us to know. The next thing is a dietary history. So we've gone over what you put in your body has a lot to do with what your face, your skin is going to be looking like. So what is it? Are you on a diet? Do you take vitamins? Vitamins are important because sometimes they either help or hurt or work against the products that you're using, depending on what brands you're using and things of the sort, and how strong your product line is that you're using. Do you exercise? What does that have to matter? What does that matter? Of course, remember we talked about the circulation, the blood circulation, blood flow, and all of that. Okay. Do you eat a well-balanced meal? Why does that matter if I'm getting a facial? We've talked about, right? If we want the skin to look good, sugar shouldn't be part of our diet. And if we want our body to repair, if we're coming in for a facial because they have acne scars or things of the sort, they want to repair things, we need a good healthy body, so that we can allow our body to repair and help us with the products that we're offering and using on our clients. And then, do they drink water daily? It's very important, and we'll talk about the dehydration of the skin in just a little bit. The last thing that you can ask is cosmetic history. Okay, what is the purpose of this makeup application if they're getting makeup application for that day? Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be part of the whole thing. This is someone first that's coming in for a facial with maybe if they're doing a photo shoot or if they're doing a wedding or an event or something like that. It's good to do a little mini facial before the actual makeup application, just because you have a clean slate to work on. So, day, evening, bridal. Have you ever had a reaction from skincare products? Yes or no, and explain, so that way I know as a service provider what I need to avoid. And then what cosmetics are you using now? This is just so I know, okay, price point. Are you using MAC? Okay, then you're willing to spend the money. Are you using Walmart brands? Okay, well then we need to go and offer you something a little bit at a lower price level or price point, or maybe not as many products as someone that would purchase MAC products. Okay, and then what is the extent of your facial care at home? What do you do on a daily basis, and what do you do on a weekly basis? Now, on a daily basis and a weekly basis, I apologize, my light just went out, but are you busy? If you're busy, I'm not going to offer you a lot of products. I'm not going to do a lot: cleanse, tone, moisturize, serum, mask, all of that, because you probably more than likely won't buy products from me, and more than likely you're not going to have the time to use them. And if you buy them, you won't use them, and so it will kind of turn you off to buying products later. But if you're someone that has the time and you're not very busy, or you have the time available to pamper yourself, then I can definitely offer you some products. And so on the business end of the cosmetology, when you are a service provider, typically a salon will give you 10 to 15% of commission sales on the products you sell. So if you sell, let's say you make 10%. If you sell products and you sell $100 worth of the product, you get $10 in your paycheck because you sold that $100 worth, and you get 10%. Okay, so that's why some of that information is important. All right, so we're going to flip this over, and if you just glued it to the side, it's fine. That's not a problem. I just couldn't fit mine on one page. But the skin evaluation, so we're then going to take this and say, okay, let's go ahead and go into the service room and start your facial. So you're going to prep your client, you're going to drape them, get all your stuff ready, and all of that should already be done. And then you're going to start your skin analysis or your skin scope with the Woods lamp or the skin scanner, and you're going to fill this out as you go. So today in class, we're going to do the hands-on. So I'm going to go over what some of these things are, so that way you're aware. And when you get to the light, either the skin scanner or the Woods lamp, I want you to fill this out on yourself, okay, or the person you're working with. So we have the skin type, okay. What kind of skin do you have? Okay, is it normal, dry, oily, or a combination? Okay, what are the characteristics of your skin? Do you have whiteheads, comedones, broken capillaries, discoloration, blemishes? And then if so, you just take, and you can make notes, or you can just do little tick marks. Okay, what is the condition or the elasticity of your skin? Is it normal, fair, or poor? When you pull on the skin, does it go back like a rubber band, or does it kind of slowly go back, or does it just not go back? Okay, so we've talked about that previously. What are some signs of dehydration that you see? You don't see any dehydrations? Perfect. Is it moderate or severe? Okay, do they have wrinkles? There's some other things here. We're not going to be going over all of that. Again, that's just at a higher level for you, but just know that those are some things to look for. And then also too, for the dehydration, remember we talked about the lips. If the lips are chapped or cracked, definitely someone that needs more water. If they're nice and plump, if it's not fillers, then or things like Botox, then it's definitely they have plenty of drinking water. Okay, and then here we have our product and treatment recommendations. So these are the things that you're going to be recommending as a service provider. What is the series that you are offering? Is you trying to correct something, or are you maintaining healthy skin? And then the length of time. How many weeks are we going to put you on this program where you're going to come in, the client's going to come in and get a basic facial or a cleansing facial, deep cleansing, extractions, things of the sort. How many weeks? And then what's the date of the treatment you do here. So every time the client comes in, you offer them, you write down when they came in, you write down their procedure, what you did to them, and then who did the service, and then any extra remarks. Now, who did the service, because sometimes if I'm not available, my coworker can take my clients, or if this would just be me. Any remarks are definitely something that you need to make note of. These are some things that sometimes you have to put in your computer system. If this client takes you an extra 15 minutes, then you need to make sure to write this down and then have the front desk receptionist write that down on their account information. So when this client comes back and books an appointment, the person booking the appointment will know that they need to add an extra 15 minutes to their service time. Okay, that way everything works out good. So as we're going through and doing the skin scan, make sure you fill this out on yourself. Okay. All right, so this is going to be our skin scope. So this here, let's see here. What do I want to call this? Skin consultation, I guess. Let's just do skin scope. Let's just keep it. All right, so with our skin scope, there's a few things that we need to go over to make sure that you, and I know it's blurry, I apologize, but a few things that we need to make sure that you know when you're looking at the light, when you're seeing different colors, what are the colors and what do they mean? And where will you most commonly see those colors? Okay, so for our skin scope here, we have a variety of colors. Now, this one is in black and white, but in Schoology, I added the actual picture of this in color, so you'll be able to see how those colors work for you. It's more just a color-coded system, but not anything, you know, that you need to focus too much on. All right, so the skin scope. There's numbers 1 through 8, this particular one, so it's the number. And so here on the face, you're going to map out, you're going to see the number. Okay, so if you know by memory these here, when you're doing a consultation and you have a face chart and you just write the numbers down, you're like, oh, 2 over the eyebrow, or 1 and 2 over the eyebrows. So okay, well here over the eyebrows we have normal and healthy skin, but on the chin she's got a few white spots, and so we've got some dead skin there. And so that is the language that estheticians will speak, and typically they're all in the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over this. So on the number 1, okay, you have blue and white. This is healthy normal skin. And so here you can see, and it's not this particular shape, it's just the area. Okay, so in general, anywhere that you see bluish or white, blue and whitish, it's kind of like a, you'll notice the fluorescent type of color underneath that black light. You're going to see that that particular area definitely is healthy. There's nothing popping out to it. Okay. Then you have 2. You're going to have white spots. This is the horny layer of the skin, and this is the dead skin cells. So here on the chin in this particular diagram, you're going to see that you're going to see some white spots. And that means that in this here area, we need to scrub whenever we're doing our cleanser. Or if we're doing a cleanser, then we're going to make sure to do good circular rotations and spend extra time here in this area, because that client needs it there. Okay. Then on 3, we have any 3, this is going to be 3 here. We have purple fluorescent color. And it's this thin skin that doesn't have enough moisture. So it's definitely some dry skin there, okay? So here you can see the thin skin is over the eye area, okay? And so those there are going to give you definitely some good indication that we need to add some serum to those spots. Okay, now this one I know you can't see, so number 4, this is brown. Okay, so I know that's kind of dark and blocked out, so that's brown, and brown is pigmentation and dark spots. So anytime you see any dark spots and pigmentation, you're definitely going to, here is going to be over the lip area, and it's going to be on the forehead. And sometimes there's different things that happen in life where, for example, pregnancy is one, or just birthmarks. Those are things that events or things that happen that your skin just has a different tone in it, and it can be blotchy, it can be in spots. Some people have like, oh, it's the shape of a heart, or it's the shape of a cloud, or whatnot. And so a lot of times here over the lip area we do get those, and it's just pigmentation. It's just the color of your skin changes slightly, okay? But it's not like a black and white type of a difference. Sometimes it's very, very soft and subtle, so you can barely tell. But anything that is dark, a darker brown color or a darker tone of a color, it's definitely going to be those pigmentation issues. And then we have a light violet. So with our light violet color that you see, it's going to be dehydrated skin. So typically, a client that doesn't drink enough water, so if you see that in their client consultation card, you're going to see that color a lot, okay? When you see a bright fluorescent color, very bright and fluorescent, you're going to see hydrated skin. Someone that has a lot of waters definitely, or drinks a lot of waters, definitely going to see have a lot of those spots on their face, and that's a good skin that you may see there. Okay, then you're going to have your yellow, or sometimes it's kind of a pink, pinkish kind of color. I've honestly have seen it kind of orange, sort of. It's kind of like a, you'll see when you see it. Right now you should have it on your nose area, and you should have it on your chin, but for sure over the nose. But for the most part, the oily areas, and of course if you have the T-zone area, that is definitely where you're going to see it. Here it says the 6 right here, but I'm going to color in the 6 with the 7 as well, just to remind you that typically in the nose areas where you're going to find that oily area. Now this does not mean that the rest of the face can be oily. Okay, it can be. It's just for the most part, commonly you'll find it in that T-zone part. Okay, and then you're going to have a white fluorescence type of a color, and that is going to be the thick corneum layer. Okay, and so that you'll see possibly in the cheek area. Okay, and so that these are just again some of the things that you'll need to understand when you're doing the consultation with your client. So as you're doing this and you have your light on and you're looking through the scanner, take this graph with you, take this picture graph here with you, diagram, and see what colors do you see. And when you see these colors on your in the mirror, in the machine skin scanner, or on the Woods lamp through when someone's looking at it, then you can fill out this part here. Okay, so keeping these things in mind, we're going to now bring our client over. So anytime that you're doing a skin consultation, you always want to make sure to do a basic, and I'm going to pull this up slightly just because I need to make sure that you have a good view of the machine. So this is here our client. We need to make sure that the client has no makeup. So this is a basic facial setup. You need to make sure to remove the makeup either with wipes or with makeup remover. And then you need to do a cleanse. Now you can put the processing cap on the client just to get the hair all out of the way. If you're going to go into the skin scanner machine that's on the cart, you don't have to cover the eyes. If you're going to directly put the Woods lamp over it, we take 2 cotton rounds, we wet them so they will get stuck onto the client's skin, and then put them over the eyes so the client will not open their eyes under the Woods lamp. Okay. With the Woods lamp, this is the Woods lamp here. So I'm going to move this over to the side. Now it's important to make sure to cleanse the face. You don't add anything after the cleanser. Now makeup remover and cleanser. Don't add toner, lotion, serums, because that will then add some product over the surface of the skin, and it's not going to read you a true skin scan or a true skin consultation or skin analysis. Okay, people call it different things. So we're going to go ahead and move that out of the way. We're going to pretend that we have already cleansed our client. I'm going to take this light out so it's not so bright. I don't have a white paper under here, so the, let me put this here. The color balance is not doing well. So let me put this under so we have a better color. There we go. Okay. So now we have our client, we've done our makeup remover, we've done our basic cleanse. Nothing is on the skin. Okay. Now you can scan their skin as they come in so they can see everything, but if they have makeup on, it's not going to do very well. A true scan is when the skin is clean. So then I'm going to move this one to the side really quick so you can see. There's two different kinds. So this particular light, it's really a lot of light. I need to put the white balance here so it'll read. My apologies. So this particular light, when you turn it on, you have a black light. So it has a little hood and it has a black light. So let me turn the black light off. See? That's the light, right? And so here it has the skin scanner. So if you see the yellow, you have the light color, you have the acne. So that's a little guide for you as well. Now, depending on the manufacturer, we'll have a different code as far as what the colors mean. So it just depends on your manufacturer's direction. So the skin scanner has this, it's a little hood that you go inside of here. And it does come, you can take it off. So we're going to take that little head off. So it does have a protective acrylic plate here. You can slide off to change the bulbs. This one has 4 bulbs and it has all the elements there. So these can hurt or get warm. So you want to make sure it has this protective base on here. You do not want your client to get hurt. Okay. And so this particular one, it's not plugged in, but it has an on and off button. And so what you do is you just take your client, okay, and then you put their face, and I'm not going to put it together because it's kind of hard with this camera, but this is the cap, the hood. So you just put their face, you cover their face like this, right, over, so there's no light that can penetrate through. Now it is open, so they can hold their hand here at the chin area so they can breathe if they get a little bit claustrophobic. But this is the part where, and you don't do this like this. This should already be attached, but I'm just showing you. This is attached to the woods lamp, right? So you don't put this on the client first and then try to put on the little hood over the machine while it's on the client, because you can hurt your client. You should not be doing this, okay? But I'm going to be using it without, okay, so that you can see. So it's got a magnifying glass here. So when you turn the light on, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be analyzing the client's skin, and you can hover and move this around, making sure that you carefully do it so you don't hurt your client or shove the acrylic glass onto their nose or forehead or face and hurt them. But you want to observe you want to observe all the different shades of colors and tones that you're going to be looking at or seeing with the light that you don't see when the light's not on. And you want to be referring back to your guide. So if you see any of the blue-white color, you have normal and healthy skin. If you see any white spots, you're definitely going to see that that there's dead skin cells that the client has there, and we need to exfoliate that. And then you can also be looking at it and then write down on your skin consultation card. So that way when you come out from the light, when your client comes out from the light, you can go over and say, okay, well, this is what I found. In your T-zone area, you're a little bit oily, so we did have a little bit of the yellow or orange type patches, so we're going to take and we're going to do some little extra cleansing there and make sure not to put a lot of serum, etc., etc. Whatever your regimen is going to be for your client, right? So that is how that works. Let me take this off. So again, this is another machine, okay, has the acrylic base under. I turn the light on, and you can see the lights on there. And so as you're doing this, okay, you can see how you can see under the client, like so, okay? So you're looking through the top, but you don't want the client to be looking back at you. you want their eyes to be covered and closed. Now you do have to have a dark room. So if the lights are on, we use these hoods. If the lights are off, you don't have to use the hood. So let me turn the light off really quick so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so now the light is off. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my woods lamp on. And so here, if you have it far apart, if it's really strong and dominant, you can see it, but you need to really get pretty close so that way, and my camera doesn't reach, I apologize, but so that way the extension cord, the cord to this machine is a little short. So that way you can see really good up and close, you can see the good details. If you just kind of hold it up and you're looking, but you're not looking through the magnifying glass, you may not be able to see all of those imperfections that the client has or may have. Okay, so this is for someone to hold in their hand, to look through, to have their client's eyes covered, to do the consultation. Okay, now if you're doing it on yourself, or if you're going to be, and let me turn this on, if you're going to be working with someone and you're going to be using the skin scanner, okay, then that's a whole different machine. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the skin scanner up so I can turn the light back on so I can show you how that works. Alright guys, so bear with me here, making sure we have all of this. Alright, so here we have the card. So we always put on the card because it's a lot easier. You have two different views. So you don't want to put the machine, this is a skin scanner, you don't want to put the machine on one edge, on the long side. You want to put it on the short side, and you want to put it horizontally like so. Because one person is going to be looking through the looking glass, which is the service provider, and the other person is going to be looking or putting their face in through the back section of the machine. Okay, so it does have a cord. Okay, so you want to plug that in, so definitely have to make sure you're close to a plug, and you're going to carefully pull this up till it pops. Once it pops, it's going to bring out the hood. So this hood here, okay, it opens up, and in here you're going to have a mirror. Let's see if I can, you have a mirror here, okay, where you can look at yourself. And then you have the magnifying glass here where the service provider is going to be standing on the other side looking through. And then you have your big bulbs of the magnifying light, which is like the black light, if you will. Okay. So one person, the client, okay, will be doing this, like so. And then there's no light coming through. You can turn the light off if you like. You don't have to because the hood will cover you, so you can just look through. And the client is looking at their face in the mirror. So as the service provider is offering them the detailed information and filling out the chart, looking through the other side, the client's also looking at the same time. So that's why these machines are pretty cool. Okay, so your client is here, and then the service provider is here. All right, and so the service provider is looking through the magnifying glass here, and then they're writing down what it is that they're seeing on the client through the magnifying glass. Now, once you're done, you always want to take your barbicide disinfecting wipes, and you want to wipe the eye area because sometimes you touch your face on here. And then you also want to wipe down your hood and the mirror on the inside because sometimes when the client talks, they might spit when they talk, and then so the mirror gets dirty. So you want to wipe those off. But it does get warm in here, so you have to make sure you don't keep the client in here for too long, and also too, you don't want their eyes to be in here for very long, okay? And the bulbs get hot, so make sure that they don't get too close to the lights, okay? So that is it. Now, if you wanted to do the woods lamp, then this is the woods lamp. So I'll show you that. And this is what that looks like, okay? So wood lamp on top. So this is the client's face. You put the wood lamp hood like so, and then you look over the client like this. Of course, you want to make sure that the client, I've got mine backwards, you want to make sure that the feet of the client are away from you, so their top of the head is to your stomach, and then you've got the hood, you can put it down, and you can look through the glass like so. Now, anytime that you're using the wood lamp, you also want to make sure to wipe it down. Don't get too close so you don't hurt the client. and you want to always wipe down the handle and the top. If you wipe the glass down, you can use Windex, so that way it does not leave a streaky image over the surface, or streaky glass plate over the surface, so you get a distorted image the next time you're using your wet slamp. Okay, so that is the skin scope, the skin scan, skin consultation. We also do have a variety of different diagrams on here that you can take a look at, and then also too we have this one in big. So if you we always have this together, so during salon days, if you use it, you always have these sheets with you, and they're laminated, so that way you it can help you remember in the future what these things are. Okay, and then we have a co-teacher, Miss Fortuna. She did hers, and so she took a picture of it. You can take a picture by holding the phone over the other side, and so that way we can do the skin analysis, and here you can see her skin analysis. Okay, all right, so that's what we have for you today. Thanks so much for taking a look. After you do your skin scan, your skin consultation, then you can further better assist your clients as far as what they're wanting to do. Are they wanting to do more deep cleansing, or they want to treat something like acne scars or things of the sort? And so being able to have all that foundational type of education, the anatomy of the skin, the structure, things of the sort, how to maintain it, then you're going to be a better service provider for your clients, and you're going to be more successful because of the knowledge that you have. All right, so that's all I have for you today, and then hope you guys have fun trying the machine out. Please do try both of them out, just so you can see the experience, both of them, and see how they each work, because a lot of people don't have these in the salons, but most everybody has the wood slamp, so it's definitely a treat. We had this donated by the owner, Linda Murphy, from Murphy's Retreat Salon and Spa, so she donated it to the school, and so it's definitely a good treat to have. So please enjoy that. Don't forget to take your notes, and we'll see you on the next one.